Some
The
parents
children,
pick it up
because
and
I
show
watch
them
the
all.
kids go across the street like you
Yeah.
described, and they will park a window
Well,
front.
we really couldn't see them just being banned from parking there, you know, that was not.
So Bruce, what do you need then?
Okay, so we
You want
basically.
to introduce this
You
tonight?
want to
Is that
introduce
the-
this tonight
committee's
on
desire?
first reading?
Yeah.
Let me read it by title only. An ordinance of the Township of Greenwich, County of Warren, State of New Jersey, supplementing and amending Chapter 7, Section 7-3.5 of the Code of the Township of Greenwich, prohibiting stopping or standing during certain hours on certain portions of Wyndham Farm Boulevard, Daniel Drive, and Dory Place. You notice that it's stopping or standing, not just parking, because that's really what you have there is a stopping and standing problem.
Mhm.
So that's why I did it that way.
Okay,
So-
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Miliani?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Perez?
Yes.
Durniak?
Yes.
Siegel?
Yes.
And that's all I have.
A question with this though, before we put it away. So how long does it take for this to actually be enacted?
Another
Next
month.
meeting,
Next meeting?
takes 2 meetings.
Do,
We can get the signs on order.
Yeah, order the signs.
how long would that take, the signs?
Not.
That, you have to check with John, he does all the ordering and signs.
Because my concern is that, and it was all our concerns when we had the meeting,
Yep.
was the safety of the children.
Yeah.
So do we want to wait a month, or do we have to wait a month before we can enact this?
There's a
at
certain
least
amount
2
of
weeks.
days.
Well, it's actually technically 7 days, 10 days, 7 days from second reading, from publication, 10 days from first reading. So you could have, theoretically, you could have a special meeting in a couple of weeks if it's that urgent to you.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest issue is that, this is the time of the year when most kids are walking to school. You know, when it gets cold, there's not as much of an issue, although it might be the same issue with the parking. I
The
don't
parking
know.
will become an increased issue.
Well,
But yeah, the parking seems like it gets worse when it gets
Cold.
colder.
really?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it gets worse as it gets further into the school year too, because the parents are, they're trying to do the right thing, and they're gung ho, but by the end of the year,
The
they're
kids
giving
don't
a
want
cross
to walk
stop.
anymore.
No, the kids don't want to walk, the parents have had it, they were, giving the crossing guards the fingers sometime, it was getting nasty, so. it gets
Parents or
decent.
kids?
Kids,
Yeah.
No, the
parents?
parents were giving the crossing guards that.
No,
Well,
all
well,
parents.
2 things on the mind. First of all, I don't have any problem doing that at an emergency meeting,
No,
if you want to do that.
Special meeting.
Yeah, special meeting.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can send it to the newspaper tomorrow. She can probably either get it in
Well,
Saturday.
Mike and I have to make sure we.
We gotta make some
yeah.
changes into this,
So
right?
we could probably
Yeah.
get it done tomorrow.
Yeah, we can talk tomorrow.
Yeah.
This is gonna take no time at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so we could.
The lines are already painted. You said,
Yeah.
right? You said that at the last meeting.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. The one other thing that occurs to me to speed up the process here is that I know we're also going to end up needing somebody from your department to go out and show where the signs go or something. Do we need that?
Spec out the signs.
Oh, well, if John is uncomfortable, not really, but if John is uncomfortable
I
as
thought
far
we had to
as.
do that with the speed limit.
Yeah,
Do we
well,
don't
that's
have
because
to-
John didn't want to he's like, you tell me where they should go.
Mark it on your calendar to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm sure it's in the MUTCD as far as the placement of those signs. I'll send a map to John. It really is simple.
So do we need to authorize you to do that?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'll
let's-
make the motion.
I'll second it, to authorize Mike Finelli to mark, or determine the location of the parking
They
space.
left.
We got it. I got it.
Oh, you're looking at the calendar.
We got it.
All in favor of the motion for Mike to spec out the signs?
How about October 6th for a special meeting?
We just made a motion, you missed it.
I'm sorry, don't be doing anything.
Don't you dare.
Elaine made a motion, I seconded to authorize Mike to go out and spec out the location of the no parking signs.
So that John can install them.
Spec out the signs. So you made the motion?
Elaine made the motion, I seconded
Or
it.
seconded?
We haven't voted yet.
You
We
did
left.
no roll call yet?
No.
Okay.
You need to
Miliani?
Oh, yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Perez?
Yes.
Durniak?
Yes.
Siegel?
Yes. Although I did say all in favor.
Oh, no. Right, Peter?
Yeah. No, I'm not.
Okay, we
now,
can I go?
all right.
All right, here's
Yep.
my big item.
Okay, hold on, we're not on the lane yet, I'm sorry. That's what I just ran for.
Oh, the date.
Yes. Okay, so we've introduced it. You guys are gonna get together with the things that you need to add into this ordinance.
Yeah, we can do that. You be in tomorrow?
Yeah, I have a meeting with that. Yeah, we'll talk in the morning.
Okay.
All right, and then possibly by the afternoon before 3, I could send this then to the newspaper. Okay, so from that point. So then,
I was just saying, we could probably do it after the meeting, to be honest with you. But, go ahead.
Okay.
I don't want to interrupt. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
so then, let's just say it gets in the paper Saturday, or let's just say Monday. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 7 days, really.
It should,
Is it
well,
7 days or 10
it's
days?
7 days from publication, 10 days from
So let's
introduction.
just say here,
But
okay.
this is introduction, so.
Yeah.
1, 2,
7, 8,
oh, 7,
9, 10. It's 10 days
Okay.
from introduction.
8. Okay.
And then let's just say it gets published here.
Okay.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So I would leave maybe a day or two just to be on the
So the
safe side.
5th of October is a Wednesday, which is open, and Thursday the 6th is open.
I would not be available on the 5th, but you probably won't need me anyway. It's
It would
just going
just
to
be
be
a
a,
one item.
very short
Very
meeting.
short meeting.
yeah.
You could even
Thursday the
have a
6th.
day meeting if you want to do something.
Wednesday's the 5th, Thursday's the 6th. So it's probably.
I
We
see.
don't have any sewer, those are none of the sewer dates, right?
No,
No,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, you're
That was the next
Okay,
week.
either date's fine for
So
me.
the 5th or the 6th. You want a night
Yes,
meeting
I prefer
or a
Thursday.
day meeting or?
It's a Thursday.
Okay.
Or a day during Wednesday.
I'm
It's
fine.
just a 5-minute quick meeting.
Yeah.
So,
Famous last words.
well,
No, it is.
I mean,
yeah, it's just to adopt
I
it.
could
I
call
just
in
need,
if I
I
needed
need
help.
3 people to.
Okay,
yeah,
I'm
to do
here.
it.
We're here during the day.
Thursday.
You're available during the day
Remember,
on
you've got to have a
Thursday?
public hearing,
I'm
so.
available
so-
during the day, Wednesday or Thursday.
Both.
Okay.
Either one.
Joe,
Why
are
don't
you
you go ahead and
available
do it
during the day?
Usually.
Dan? Okay, so
Yeah.
on a Thursday? You're
Yeah.
okay, Dan, you're?
You gonna do it during the day?
Yeah. I'm not gonna, I'm
Well,
not
that's a
here.
good idea. You might get, people might find that, might criticize that because, you know,
Not
if
home
somebody
from
wanted to
work?
come to the meeting, yeah.
Okay, so we'll do it at 7:30.
yeah.
7:30 Thursday. that's fine.
7:30 Thursday, there's no other
Okay.
meeting, is there a Board of Adjustment meeting?
No, that's the 13th.
Okay.
All right, 7:30,
Oh, yeah.
On the
it's one
6th.
evening.
special,
7?
7. Yeah,
Seven?
7.
Yeah, you could do it early.
7's fine.
7.
Right.
Okay, 7.
I have to bring it in, special meeting.
He's gonna have to remind me. 7.
Okay, so we're good with
I
that?
can't stand meetings when they're
What's the
an hour
number of
difference
ordinance,
than
by the way?
they usually are.
2011-12.
12?
Okay. So, sewer subcommittee.
Okay, in the sewer subcommittee, I need a motion to adopt resolution 2011-88. It's a resolution authorizing the execution of the sewer usage fee in the arrearage and the payment agreement as agreed by, do I say the name of the,
No,
okay,
he doesn't have that listed in the title.
okay. Is that all that I say, Kim?
Just the heading on the resolution.
Okay. Can I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
Miliani,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Perez.
Yes.
Reniak. Siegel.
Yes.
That's all I have.
Peter?
Just two things. I spoke to Stuart Koenig, our special counsel, today regarding that claim by the one party, I think it's Folksburg Honda, for a COA fee. It's a rather arcane, twisted up section of the law. Stuart is perfectly willing to look into it, but he wants you to authorize him to do that. So we'd like a motion to authorize Stuart to determine whether this party is entitled to the COA refund that they're requesting.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Miliani.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Perez.
Yes.
Reniak.
Yes.
Siegel.
Yes.
The only other thing was, Maybe we got our signals crossed, but I thought I had sent in a draft ordinance on Hurleman Road speed limit. Did everybody get that? Did everybody
For
get
the
that?
second reading, I thought this was the
Yeah.
public
Yeah.
hearing.
All right. I
Did we-
screwed that one up.
Did you advertise or not?
No, did we introduce it? No, because I.
No.
I thought
this
we
would've been
only- we only
introduction.
talked
Yeah.
about
It was
So,
just-
I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
take that back, I didn't screw up.
No, you didn't.
Are you
Although, wait till the
sure?
next thing
I was like, I
I,
screwed up.
wait till the next thing I
didn't
bring
do
up.
it.
I sent it out. I
Pretty
sent it
safe.
out on August the 30th, just saying I enclosed draft ordinance implementing 40 miles per hour speed limit on Hurleman Farm Road for introduction at the next TC meeting. So that was
Yeah,
it
yeah,
today.
yeah, okay.
So if you have that,
here?
you want me to read it by title only?
Read it by title only.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what name is it?
An ordinance of the Township of Greenwich, County of Warren, State of New Jersey, supplementing and amending Chapter 7, Section 7-11 of the Code of the Township of Greenwich, establishing a speed limit on Hurleman Farm Road. And again, that's 40 miles per hour, entire length,
Hey, Peter,
both
real quick.
directions.
Hurleman Farm Road? There's no farm.
It's just Hurleman Road.
Just rolling.
Okay, I don't know where that came
Maybe
from,
from Wyndham Farm Boulevard?
Sure.
Just
I never
Hurleman
seen
It
it.
might
Road.
have, I mean,
Just
really.
like that farm that doesn't waste.
It goes to a farm.
I don't know where, I have no idea where that came
Yeah,
from.
no, no
but-
Farm,
But
that farm.
I'll be
just
happy to
keeps
strike
coming
it out of
back
there.
over. Farm
Strike that,
department, everything.
I'm wondering if I saw it on a map somewhere, because I was looking
Oh,
at a
no,
map.
no, farm.
Okay, I will accept you as the ultimate authority on the
Thank you.
name,
Thank you.
and we'll delete farm. Okay, so then somebody want to make a motion to introduce on first
I'll make
reading?
that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, it's ordinance 2011-13. Can I have a copy of that?
Yeah,
You'll email it.
I'll send you the clean copy of
Yeah,
the
and the
revised,
same
with the farm taken out.
Yeah,
Oh,
with
yeah.
the farm and the thing
Definitely.
for the road.
Definitely.
All right, I'm sorry, who made the motion?
He made the
I
motion,
think
I'll
I,
second.
yeah.
Second, okay, Miliani,
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Perez?
Yes.
Burnett? Siegel?
Yes.
Then the only other thing, well, two things, the rec bylaws, Joe, if you want me to revise those, I gave you my comments. If you want me to revise or have, send me a Word doc.
She had not, and that was my recommendation to her last night. I said, you know, because I read it over, I was comfortable with it, with your changes, and she hadn't a chance, she had not had a chance to review it, so I don't think there'll be any. And I said, I think we ought to go with this.
Okay.
So our next meeting will.
So isn't Rick looking for a treasurer?
Yeah.
You want to mention
By the
that?
way, let's see, if by show of hands, do we have any volunteers to be the treasurer of rec? Mr. Torrio? No. Anybody else? No, seriously, folks, we need a treasurer for, desperately need a treasurer for rec.
Brad's back there going.
Brad.
There's an accountant in the room.
He's got a financial background there, and
You wish you could help, you can help.
kids in the program.
We need a part-time CFO, Brad.
The only,
State circle.
the only other thing I wanted to mention was that rental properties ordinance that's been floating around for a number of months. And that's somewhat detailed, so I think everybody, please make an effort to look at that ordinance and decide whether you want to implement it or not. As I mentioned in the previous meeting,
Did
the
we
issue
introduce
is...
it on first read?
No.
No, I think.
No, we
need to.
haven't yet. You know, as I said before, the issue is enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but. So, that's it.
All right. So that's all you have, Peter?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Mike?
I really have very little. There's one important thing we need to do, actually two. Read a lot of updates, not a whole lot going on, so I won't bore everybody with the details. Report hopefully speaks for itself. What? Excuse me? Well, no, this is where I'm going to get to my prior comment from a minute ago. Item number 13 in my report. In fact, I even put it in an email when I sent it out. That is the municipal aid applications. if you remember last month I brought it up, you said coordinate with John, as in Powell. We should really invite him to these meetings. He's discussed quite a bit. So, we decided to put in 2 applications, or we decided that we will be putting in 2 applications. One for Washington Street, Stewartsville Road, basically from the blinking light out to the Franklin boundary, and the second, and new one actually, for Dumont Road. And this will be the section of Dumont between the old section, 519 and Greenwich Street. Which, if you know what's involved with redoing a road of that magnitude, especially with that volume of traffic, it's probably going to be up close to $250,000 grant. And again, there's no guarantees you're going to get it. But to be honest, it's a superior application because of the volume of traffic. I mean, Dumont Road should score off the charts. Now, so these applications need to be submitted. Tomorrow happens to be the due date, electronically. So we're all fine, we're good, but we need 2 resolutions.
You got it.
Do you got it?
2000
That's a better one.
2011-89.
Are they, okay, 89 and 90?
2011-90, which I will electronically email you.
Okay. There's a resolution for each road needs to be submitted with the application.
You just killed the fly. It just landed on your hand, you clapped and you killed it, thank
Did I
goodness.
really kill it?
Buzzing around here, you just dropped on the floor. Thank you, Mike.
Did I really do that?
It's really
Yes,
Honest to God.
oh, you could do that
I'll
again.
tell you, it's that martial arts from training from years ago.
That's crazy.
Did you get that on film?
By the way, put it out.
My daughters would be proud of me if they
Put it
saw
out of its misery.
No, okay.
That was beautiful, Mike.
Well,
Sorry.
it's a nice moment because this is important stuff here. In any event,
Murder at Township.
as Kim has said, there's 2011 resolution 2011-89 and 2011-90, both of which do nothing more than authorize the submittal of these applications by the Township Committee to the DOT. So Kim can send them to me. They're standard, they're the same every year. Kim can forward them to me tomorrow morning
So
and we'll
80
attach them. And
89 is Washington Street, and 90 is Newman.
no,
Separate?
what's a luckier number for you?
Well, 88 was the last one.
Well, no, I mean, which one do you want Dumont to be? Pick.
What do you think is luckier? I think.
I would go, well, Dumont's
I
going to be
think-
priority 1, so make it 89.
That's an even, that's an odd number.
Yeah, but it's the first number. It comes before 90. Yeah, you don't want priority 1.
Oh,
as
okay,
it,
so
you know,
okay.
just go.
Okay, all right.
There's a
89.
method behind my madness.
Okay.
Okay, so 2011-89 will be for Dumont Road, 2011-90 will be for Washington Street and Stewartsville Road. I would make them as separate motions just to be technical about it. No.
Okay. We make a motion to adopt resolution 2011-89
For Dumont
for
Road,
Dumont Road.
I'll second.
Miliani,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Perez.
Yes.
Zerniak.
Yes.
Siegel.
Yes.
And I'll make a resolution, make a motion to adopt resolution 2011-90 for Washington Street.
Second.
Okay, Miliani.
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Perez.
Yes.
Zerniak.
Yes.
Siegel.
Yes.
Okay, that's really it, other than some updates that are, you know, it's all in my report.
Can I ask a question about some lighting?
I knew you were gonna say that.
What lighting
I
would you
just
be
saw
referring
it
to?
yesterday.
And-
Dumont Road.
Well, Dumont Road's one of them, but there's others. There are other lights that are leaning and down on throughout Greenwich Chase. What was the street, Angela? We saw the. Did you see the email?
Yeah, yeah.
Remember what the street name was?
Well, Jefferson is one. Jefferson
that
and
wasn't what was it, but Jefferson's one.
Jefferson and
That was
Jackson.
A while ago.
Oh, I don't forget the name of the other street.
Was it Megan Circle? Was it?
No, it was closer to me. I can't
So I
remember.
know the last
But that's
time,
JCP enough.
John,
There were two.
John, went out there, didn't he? For the one that was leaving.
there were two
Yeah,
down, there were
John's
two
done
down the
some.
last time, and this is the new one.
No.
Did she?
After the storm.
She didn't put the names in her email, did she?
Yeah, she did.
She did?
Yes.
I'll tell you in a minute then.
So maybe Angelo has that before we, close the meeting.
Whose responsibility is it for those lights? Just curious. Is it power companies or town?
It's township, but the power company.
Power company usually comes out to do it if there's any potential like electrical problem.
'Cause that's always a question when we call, when the officers call it into dispatch, say, hey, notify JCP, and all, they're like, no, that's township property, or, you know, there's a question about it, so I was just curious,
Yeah.
what is the official wording on it?
How do we handle it?
Well, I think it doesn't depend
Yeah,
upon
JCP, you know.
the issue. Hasn't John gone out there to fix some of them? Like if
If the
they're,
pole is, yeah.
yeah, so I think it depends.
I think somebody should reach out to them and find out what their position is on it. If they
Who,
want-
is it the electric company or the
Yeah,
government,
if they're-
DPW?
If the electric company is willing to come and fix it.
They do.
They did.
They have been.
Yeah. But-
Yeah, we should have, for all the money we pay them for those streetlights, they should come out there like immediately.
What
They
is
should
the
fix
story
the
with?
one on
Right.
Dumont Road.
And do what else?
And repaint it all while they're out
And what
there.
else?
I can't say.
So in order for Kim to call JCP and help
Wayne
with
Circle,
Wayne Circle?
the end of Wayne
the
Circle.
address or a poll number or something, right?
Well, yeah, you have to give them a phone number.
But if
there-
you
there's
go
a
on that
no, wait,
street-
If there's a street light out, I usually tell the police to get the police.
Right,
do
we,
the street
we,
lights.
we fill out a form and we send it in for them
Right.
to, do
And they
the
give a
repair.
poll number for street lights out. At the police knows with the damage and stuff.
Okay. All right, so,
And the Dumont Road,
I think that there should be a report for, now I'm not saying the police should do it, but there should be a report for everything, because you can't follow it if it's all verbal.
for what?
For any type of repair, you've got to be able to follow it where it is.
follow up, like a
Yeah, to
status
follow,
report.
yeah,
Oh,
you've
yeah.
got to be able to follow it. So as soon as the, comes in, it's got to go to DPW, right? If there's a
Mhm.
report on everything.
Mhm.
Okay.
Or if you have them come in like that, just send them over to us. Because if we
Something.
see them, we'll call them in, because we'll get the poll number. But if you're getting a call from a resident or what the mayor's talking about now, just give us a call, we'll go out, get the poll number, and then we can call it in that way, or if it's something that sounds like it needs to be worked out, whether it's gonna be the electric company or the DPW, but either way, we can at least put a docket into the police computer so you have a track of it.
now, did we get the signs for Washington Street for the speed?
John was putting a sign up.
He was
I
putting
had
it?
spoke with him about it, to put the sign up there by Don's house.
Okay.
He said he was gonna go further up the street and take that one over down. He's done.
Okay.
I haven't looked at it, but I know he was told to do it.
And I had a
Okay.
resident over at the park before I came over here tell me that there's a street, a stop sign missing, coming Beacon Street there by the railroad. Stop sign's missing,
Oh, really?
Bad spot.
stop sign missing. Matt Plaza. So the stop sign is missing by Beacon Street by the railroad.
By the railroad crossing?
Coming
You're
from,
right.
you know, from 57 down, there's a stop sign.
Right at the railroad crossing there?
Yeah, it's
So you're gonna let John know then?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go out now, we'll put a
You have
temporary
something
up
else?
there.
Yeah,
Mike has something else?
I do have
Stop
something
sign.
else, and I
Put
would
your
have.
hands together, because there might be another flaw.
Yeah, I would have been very upset if I would have forgot to mention this.
It's on the floor.
I told him, he got it.
It's really there by
It's
your
there.
It really is. We have a baggie, I can put this in, bring it home. Look what I bagged tonight at me.
I can see tomorrow's headlines, town engineer commits murder at Township Council.
The,
I think I zoomed in on it.
okay.
I can see that being
It's
raw.
a nice environment this evening. To your comments from last month and prior relative to South Main Street, and I told you I'd go talk to the county and find out what their position is and so forth. Dave Hicks was away, but I talked to Bart Johnson, who's really their traffic guy anyway, who's very in tune with this, and he gave me this is what he said. Speed humps, absolutely not, will not, no way, no how will permit them. Okay. We continue the conversation. He said that they have installed, he calls them rumble strips. I don't call them rumble strips the way we think of rumble strips, where the pavement is actually like milled and it's got that sound when you go over it. The rumble strips he's talking about are basically thermoplastic strips that go across the road that have the same effect as a rumble strip. He said those are somewhat effective, and the better part of it is, assuming they can agree on a location, they will do it at their cost. We would have to write them a letter and so forth. And I said, I mentioned about you, Dan, as the committeeman and living in the area and so forth. They'd probably like to have a meeting to see where it makes sense to put these rumble strips. He also made some other suggestions about the radars, the driver feedback sign. Is ours broke, the temporary one?
It doesn't do anything on there.
Okay.
I've had it up numerous times.
All right,
It doesn't.
because I haven't seen it around lately, I guess, but, okay. He mentioned that, of course, patrolling, and I'm sure the chief doesn't want to hear about patrolling. He also mentioned about these little, excuse me, I guess they're wooden, they look like little kids. And and he sent me a link to a website. They're like 3 foot high, yellow wooden kids. You know what
Oh,
yeah.
some of the people in our development
Like
put them
that
out
stuff,
by.
that stuff
like
that
you're
we would
running
expect
out of
is a Band-Aid on a sucking chest wound. It does
they?
nothing.
Wow.
If you can get the strips or a traffic calming device, we went out and bought a laser radar, the laser time, so we can basically hide behind houses, doing different things, trying to increase the enforcement there. The problem that goes on in that area is that everyone that's coming through there is from this area. Not saying in town here, but Lopakon, Pohakon. They come through, we sat there in personal vehicles and watched, and you'll see the people coming down and their heads will go, because to be able to run the radar, you have to have, you know, a certain amount of feet. There's all the restrictions under state law to run the radar to make it, the ticket hold up in court. So there's only certain houses or certain areas we can park, and you'll see their heads go like this, left, right, left, poof, and then they go. We park out there, and, you know, they're like, you know, 24, 23, everything's fine. So, you know, we're having a little bit of success with the laser radar, because we don't have to be in the car. So they don't know basically where we're at doing it, but the little wooden men.
No.
They're plastic.
When I looked at it, it was a
Yellow
girl, actually.
plastic.
Chief, isn't there also
You can sit on
report
Dan's
that
porch,
they
can't you?
cause, that those things actually cause accidents?
What, the little wooden thing?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
people come up on them and they see them and
Yeah,
they stop.
and plus once it's like, we used to put out the patrol car with the
inflatable
resuscitation
officer?
Annie inside of it, and that worked, because at first people would see it, but then when they realized that, because one of the guys got hung up on a call, because we were only putting it out there for an hour or two at a time, and then what happened was we parked it out there, there was only one guy on, he didn't get a chance before the other officer left to get the vehicle out of there because of a call that came in. And so when we went to get it the first thing in the morning, when the second officer came on, people were putting beer cans on it. So these things, you know, they see
Because
what's
they know you don't
there.
have a female on the.
Yeah, they see what's there. They, after a while, they, you know, they know what's going on.
Really?
Yeah, they put 2 beer cans, empty beer cans on it. So when you rode up, you saw the goofy mannequin with the hat, and then 2 beer cans sitting on the hood of the car.
So Mike, the strip that you're talking about, does that make noise when they
Yes.
start over? Because the houses are so. I
No,
mean, okay.
yes, and that's what Barth, and as I explained last month, that's what we heard a lot, that you know, that these vendors that we talked to warned us. They said, you know, be prepared that you're gonna get a lot of feedback after the fact, that the people want them out because of all the noise they make. And the same thing I heard with Barth. But why don't we do this? It's harmless, painless, quick and simple. Why don't I set up a meeting with Barth, you and me, Dan?
Yeah, that's fine.
Out there, you can then have, you guys can walk around.
Is there
Yeah, the chief
someplace-
too, sure,
Is there
okay.
someplace before, is there someplace we can go to hear this where they're at and hear them going over? I mean,
Well,
there
yeah,
might
he
be a
said-
good way for you to hear it.
They've done it
All you have to
Yeah,
do is
I-
run over the rumble strips on 78, get over the line and you'll
Well,
know.
no, these are different. These are different. These are strips that are actually attached on top of each other.
If it doesn't make
They
it a
make-
similar noise when
Well,
you
they
sing.
might, I don't know.
I mean,
The
because they're
county's
pretty
put them in
noisy.
I think Bar said 3 different locations.
Okay, so if they haven't, we can go out there and.
Yeah,
Do they have to be, do they have to be removed during the plowing season?
No, supposedly he said.
No, they work pretty well. The problem is I don't think they last as long as the other stuff.
They have, we should check and see where they have it so they can hear
Yeah.
it.
If the county's paying for it, then.
Well, the
think they're
county,
meant to
maybe,
be less.
maybe they have them in Oak, where you gotta go real slow.
He told me, he told me 2 to look.
All right, Mike,
Sorry, I
don't
think
worry
one
now.
was in Hope.
Don't
but-
worry now.
Yeah.
Just send us an email.
Okay.
You know, the issue is that, you know, and I live in that area. When I hear my neighbors, you know, and we all talk about it, you know, and I know you and I have talked about this, and you're exhausted with trying to figure out a way to stop the speeding that's going on there. Because really, when you're coming up the road, you see the police cars sitting right there, so right away they slow down.
So, yeah.
You know, and there really aren't many places for the, you know, for the police to sit out there and try to catch these people. If they could see that we're like at least trying to do something, you know, that we are trying to, that we hear, you know, the complaints that we're trying to respond to the complaints that are going on in that area. At least it's something. We're showing that we're trying to do something here to try to fix that problem over there. If the inconvenience is a little bit of noise, well then maybe that's what we'll have to live with down in that area. But if it's going to stop the speeding, a little bit of noise is not going to bother me. If it's going to stop the speeding, to stop somebody from coming up. You know, we had that car that came up around the corner and put that other car up on the sidewalk, right? My son was hit and run on that block one time some years ago, and I've seen some really close calls over there.
Your son was hit and run?
Yeah, the guy hit the tail end of his bike and kept going. And so,
Really?
you know, it's and the chief can tell you it's a bad spot. You know, these people have no concern coming up that road there.
You gonna include Washington Street on that? I know that's not county, but.
Can we do north?
You know, but this has been forever. It's been for as long, I mean, we have talked about this for years. It's been an
Yeah,
ongoing
yeah.
issue
Oh, it's been,
for-
yeah.
No years.
for at least for as long as, forever.
Yeah.
It's
You're not telling
not,
me, Elaine, I've been living there almost 20 years. And
yeah,
you know?
and it's not something that has gone unrealized, but again, you're talking about you don't know how the rest of your residents are gonna feel about this this sound.
I understand that, and I can talk to the people in the neighborhood and stuff like that. But like I said,
Well, that's
there's
it.
a lot of complaints about it, and I think we are at our wits' end over there. Because someone is going to get killed there one of these days, and I'm telling you, you know, you don't live there, and unless you live on
I
that
don't
block
disagree with
and
you.
see the way they come around that curve and the
I don't
speed that's
disagree
going on
with
there,
you, but are they?
someone's going to get
We
killed.
have to know that they're willing. We have to know that that everybody is willing to deal with the sound issue.
Why don't we
But
send out a
if
letter
we
to
could
the
find out
residents on the
where,
street?
one of the things we can do is if we find the locations where they're installed,
Agreed.
then we can let the residents
Which is
know
what
where
I,
that is, and
which
they
is what I
can go out
said,
and.
agreed. And they can go out and they can go and remember, the speeding doesn't happen, every car doesn't speed, but every car will be going over the rumble strips. So, and every resident has to, you know, kind of feel, and I
Yeah,
agree with
that's-
everything that you're
Well,
saying.
So you want me to set the meeting up, or just find out where they are and let you know where they are first?
Well, I don't have a
Just-
problem going to go check it out and see what.
Kim
what's
said
happening,
North Main
but-
Street too.
but,
Yeah, north, south, and Washington.
Yeah, well, let's, I mean, I think installing them, obviously, north and south Main, the county, I'm sure they'll do it. Well, I shouldn't say I'm sure they'll do it.
Like,
It was indicated they would do it.
How does it affect the snow plow at all?
He indicated that it's really not that high and that it's somewhat plow resistant, but, you know, he said, I'm not gonna guarantee they're not gonna get harmed.
Are they considered permanent, or
No.
are they moving?
No, they're not. They're thermoplastic strips, 4 inches in diameter, 4 inches in width, that are stacked. I think there's 3 of them. They stack them on top of each other. It's almost like a paving line. It's like a center line of a pavement striping, but it's the upgraded thicker pavement material striping that's stacked on top of each other. That it creates this sound, and they're somewhat effective. They're not as effective as a speed bump would be, but
Okay, so Mike, you're gonna set that up?
Yep.
You're gonna set the meeting, okay.
Yep.
You know, there's only 3 houses there, to speak of, 3 or 4 houses, because we have Belfair Farms on the other side, and then there's 1, 2, 3, there's 4 of us there, so we would be the ones affected with the noise.
okay.
All right, anything else?
No, that was it. Thank you.
Okay, so, okay. So I need a motion for, to open up the public comment.
Make the motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, anyone wishing to make public comment? Please come up and state your
Wayne
name.
Philly, Phillipsburg, New Jersey.
No, no, no,
You
no.
have to-
I only want to bring up an idea of speed dip. Instead of a speed bump, how about a nice dip?
Nice dip.
Nice dip right across the road. Like remember Obley Road years ago? Had a speed dip in the road?
If I can, the only problem we had with some of those is that the kids were using them to launch the other way. They hit them and then they get a little bit of air going the other way.
On what, skateboards?
No, on the cars.
On the cars?
Yeah. If it's too wide, we had the same issue with the dip that was on the railroad tracks up there by Rickline Road.
Yeah.
And then you'd see where they all land sideways and try to correct it. So the traffic calming devices are the best, but this sounds like it's a lot better than doing nothing with it. So.
No, we're right. It's got to be. How effective it is, well, I guess maybe we'll find out.
Anyone
Oh,
else?
something to rip the airlift pins off.
Seeing none? Motion closed?
Make a motion.
Or second?
All in favor?
Joe, the Quates tournament, you still gonna run that? Okay, so you got myself and Kim Saturday morning, we have a prize and all that stuff.
Yep, sure.
And maybe, Tom, you have a couple of names for the community
I
service,
have
right?
8,
You have 8?
including my kids right now.
Okay, so you get with Kim also?
Yep.
Okay.
I think.
What time? What time, Dan?
What time do you want, Kim?
Well, we're gonna be here a little after 7 to start setting up.
Saturday morning.
Yeah, we're
I
gonna
have
start
the,
setting up.
okay, kids starting at 9.
Okay,
Most
that's
of the
fine.
volunteers and parents want them to come up.
The tournament will start till like 1 o'clock.
But you want me down after 7?
Yeah, we need to do some sort
Yeah,
of
later on in
tournament.
the morning.
Okay.
You need to get
Tournament
yeah.
where can I get there? I'm like, what? Like,
Probably
if we're
the
gonna run a
NCAA
tournament,
Final
we'll need to-
Four,
yeah.
so I'd set it up like that, like a
Yeah.
bracketed thing.
No, wait.
By the way,
Like a tournament
Mike is
board.
kind of semi-pro in
You know,
points, and
Saturday.
he's offered to help
We
out.
have to.
Thank you.
You're the chairman of the
Yeah.
the Quake. Well,
Yeah.
does that mean that you can take the Quake boards out of my truck that are in the parking lot?
Sure, as soon as you show me what they look like.
No, I'm actually going to drop off. They're here.
You're gonna have to point out what they are.
We can have a little seminar right now.
I'm gonna need that, so.
Quake closing seminar.
Apparently, I'll be at your house early Saturday morning, so.
No, the Quake
No, the Quake boards are here.
Oh, okay.
After the meeting,
gonna
we're
bring
gonna
them
bring
in.
them in.
Okay, good.
Watch his hands.
I
Okay.
gotta bring you mine too.
Keep
We
those
need a
cameras running.
motion to
Wasn't my man.
When you're ready, session.
Recess.
Yeah.
I guess,
Executive session for.
contract negotiations,
And
personnel.
and litigation.
And litigation. Who's gonna make the motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second, Lane, Miliani, Williams,
How you doing?
Perez, Mariak, Seagull.
Yes.
Keep it rolling.
Chief, we'll see you Saturday, right? Okay. Good day.
I guess it's officially over now.